So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to analyze a photograph. Now, again, we still have the four parts: meet the photo, observe the parts, try to make sense of it, and use it as historical evidence. Okay. But this time we're going to use a photograph. So this is the photograph that we have. So what do we see? Well, I see Native American looking Indians with like feather hats, and I see a police officer. I see a big stick pole kind of right here. Okay. And then I see that the photo is in black and white, right? So you kind of, is it black and white? Is it color? Why would it be in black and white and not color? You know? And then is there a caption? So this was the caption underneath the picture. So yes, there was a caption. And then what does the caption tell me? Well, it says dances, speeches, buffalo, informal gatherings in front of cars, groups of women and children, various preparations for the feast, apparently the 8th anniversary of the CCCID. Well, it tells us that it's an informal performance to celebrate the 8th anniversary of the CCCID. That's what it told me. So that's what I wrote down, okay? It's really that simple. If it's a caption, then you do it. If there is no caption, then you don't have to answer this because you can't, okay? Now we're going to observe the parts of this photo. So we want to circle what we see in the photo. Not like circle the photo, but do we see people? Do we see objects? Or do we see both? Well, I definitely see people, but I also see objects, right? I see like the feathers, they have little handles, there's hats, there's this big stick here. Okay, so I see both. Now, what are the people doing in the photo? Well, the people are kind of standing around, they're gathered, some are sitting down in chairs. It looks like they're watching a performance. They're Indians dressed up in a group. Okay, so I'm just describing the photo. What are the objects used in the photo? They're used to help portray the ceremony dress for the performers. So they have like the headdresses and the feathers. And I'm assuming that they would be used to help dress the performers. And then write two words that describe the photo. I would say gathering and Native Americans. I mean, you can have two totally different words. It's like I said, analyzing a document is personal because it's what you interpret, what you can see from the photo. Okay. So now we're going to try to make sense of it. We want to ask the questions: who do you think took the photo? Where do you think it was taken? List something that helps prove where you think it was taken, and why do you think it was taken, and how. So the who, what, where, when, why, how essentially is what you're asking when you're trying to make sense of it. Well, I think a person from the crowd watching the performance took the photo because it looks like they're in the circle. I think it was maybe in the Central Plains grasslands, maybe out in the west, because you can see there's some like cowboy hats here. You can see other people with hats on. They kind of look like cowboys. They're Western. And if you look in the background, there's like nothing but like flat land and maybe like some mountains in the back. So I kind of also looked, it said buffalo. And in the caption, it said buffalo. So I was like, well, maybe definitely in the Central Plains then, you can't see lots of hats. So why do you think it was taken? Well, I think it was to show everyone what was happening that day, right? So I wanted to see kind of what was going on in that day. And how does this photo compare to modern times? Well, it mentions that there are cars and the police has a sheriff looking uniform on. So there are cars. So it must be more modern day. People are in groups. So, and then using it as historical evidence, where do you think we could find out more information about the people or objects in the photo? Okay, well, I can see that um, we could probably look there's the CCC ID, maybe go to their website and see if they have any other information. We could do more research on what the CCID is and why they're celebrating its anniversary. Um, I mean, just kind of understanding the photo, using what you know, and um, that's probably how we could use it as historical evidence.